Hi friends, this is Tony Dizant, space rock of the planet Earth. And this afternoon I want to start a little session that's going to be called El Buchito. What that means? It means a little bit of coffee. El Buchito. A little bit of coffee in the afternoons. And I'm going to talk to you about a subject that has lately been out in the news and people talking about it, people complaining about it. Let's get a little serious on this one, because this one is a subject that most people complain about, but very little people understand it. That's the subject of why do the very wealthy, rich people don't pay their fair share of taxes? Okay, why does the regular people have to carry the burden of paying the taxes? It's the fairy tale of Peter and Paul. Peter's got the money. Paul borrows the money from Peter to make something happen. Then Peter turns around and says, okay, I gave the money to Paul. He spent it on a project. And, I made something happen. So go and charge it to Paul, because he's the one dealing with all the stuff. And then Paul turns around and says, wait a second. I borrowed the money from Peter, so I don't have to pay it. And it keeps going back and forth. But the money starts with Peter. Paul makes something happen with the money that Peter gave him. Okay? That's as easy as I can explain it. In case of billionaires, multimillionaires, okay, they don't have an accountant. They have a team of accountants. They probably have a high rise somewhere in downtown somewhere with a floor full of accountants that take care of their money. So, who benefits from this? A lot of people benefit from this. Because if you don't have the money, you don't have the money to pay all these accountants. And if you don't have the money to pay all these accountants that work in a floor somewhere in downtown don't have a job. Okay, so money is good if you do good things with it, or money can be bad if you do bad things with it. But if you're a billionaire, you could be doing a lot of good things with your money. And people usually don't understand this. Especially all regular folks like you and I. So, the subject about paying tax, yeah, we all have to pay it. Because don't think that the billionaires are not paying it. They are paying huge amounts of tax, way more than you and I. It just shows on paper that they gave it to Paul. And after they gave it to Paul, Paul did something with it, made something happen. In most of our cases, us regular people, we have one accountant. Might be a friend of ours or whatever. But that's not Peter or that's not Paul. Okay? In my case, for example, I don't know Peter or I don't know Paul. So I have to figure out on my own. That's even worse. There's a lot of you out there like me. One thing I could tell you is this. I don't know Paul. I don't know Peter. People claim I'm going to meet St. Peter one day. I hope that doesn't happen soon. But if it's going to happen sooner or later, I'd rather go out there and meet Paul. And with this one, I'll let you go. If you see Paul out there, let me know. I ain't got no money to give him, but I want to meet him before I meet St. Peter. Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth. Still living in this beautiful planet called Earth.